手放すな。その剣が世界を再生する唯一の希望だ。
Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World. Kimi to Boku no Saigo no Senjou is an interesting anime with a very long title. It is worth to mention that it has a nickname of KimiSen, which is quite time-saving. Anyway, I'm quite certain that you will notice a few bold elements in this anime after watching its first episode. Fan service, an overall fluid action scenes, and fan service. I'm sorry, did I mention fan service twice? Okay, KimiSen is a fantasy anime which is not an isekai like our predecessor and pioneer of all isekai anime, the Sword Art Online series. This series is based on the manga which takes time in updating the chapter, and also serves as an adaptation of the same light novel with the same title. This is going to be a big punch this year if they could adapt the novels in a correct way, because while the novels are quite good, some people might be turned off by the generic setting of the anime. KimiSen is definitely one of the better fantasy stories too, and not just an isekai one. Hi everyone, I'm Ray Justway, and you are watching the early review of KimiSen, Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World. Enjoy! Talking about the story part, the story goes about a great war which has raged for years between two different worlds, the scientifically advanced Empire and Nebulis, the realm of the witches. That war became a center conflict on this anime until the youngest knight ever to receive the title of the Empire's strongest meets the princess of the rival nation. Honestly, I love strong characters. Though they are sworn enemies, the knight is taken by her beauty and dignity, and the princess is moved by his strength and his principle of life, which made her fall in love with him. Literally fell in love, no pun intended. KimiSen's plot revolves around the relationship between the two characters from the warring factions. Kirito, Isuka, is the strongest knight of the Empire, while Alice is the Witch of Calamity Ice. Both characters are super strong and have high status among each faction. Their similarities goes beyond the physical power. Isuka and Alice, want to achieve peace, where people can live happily ever after. Both characters also have similar taste in food and art.
サーモンとズッキーニの生クリームパスタ。茹で加減はベンコッティで量は少なめ。食後は紅茶で砂糖を一つお願いします。
Also, it is fascinating that they both have cold-blooded supporting characters. Both Isuka and Alice are devoted to their countries respectfully, which makes the story more interesting. The first episode focused on the background theme of what is going on with the world and how the two characters met, while the second episode is heavily romance-based. Both the first episode and the second one are quite good, even though the story is a little too generic. When talking about genericness, KimiSen does have similarities with other anime in the same genre, especially isekai one. After watching tons of isekai anime and many other fantasy ones, I could pretty much guess where the story goes. But don't get me wrong, there are still excitement in the story. It's like consuming something that's already addicting to the point where you watch it for the sake of self-satisfaction. However, it doesn't mean that it's a boring show. KimiSen has its own foundation, and for now, I think it's a fascinating one indeed. Now let's talk about the characters. For the main protagonist, we have Isuka, the two-handed swordsman, and also the strongest knight of the Empire. On the other hand, Alice is the Witch of Calamity Ice. She is more of a magician type and a little tsundere at first. The chemistry between the two of them is quite strong. How they like same food, spending time together and completely forgot that they are enemies. Honestly, I really adore it. For the supporting pillars, we have Jin, our friend who often delivers a good punchline. He often pointed out the truth and goes well with Isuka in terms of combat abilities. But I hope there's more than meets the eye on Jin's character, like a plot twist or something that will affect the plot line. For his counterpart, Rin, on the other hand, stands still to her principle. She acts like an assistant and a reminder when Alice starts to lose herself, or starts to being her real self. Other than these people, we have Nene, the cute and clingy girl who often jumps on Isuka, creating the harem aura around him, which is just pure awesome. We also have the high-pitched shorty girl in this anime, no other than the captain, who acts like not the captain at all. She's clumsy but cute as hell. These different personalities around Iska and Alice contribute to the storyline and our perception as a viewer as well. Combined with a good art style, they become a great combination of uniqueness and fan service for sure. Speaking of the art style, there's nothing new here. At least from the very beginning of the episode, the main character design, the setting of the world, nothing unique in particular, but still, it serves as a precious moment, especially during specific moments like its action scenes and some fan service moments. That's it. In conclusion, I would like to declare again that this is the early review and not the final one. But judging from these 3 episodes rule, I would say that KimiSen has set up a solid ground, even though the theme is a little bit generic. Just a little bit. For some people who think that this is just a copycat of Sword Art Online, to some extent it is true. Nonetheless, KimiSen has provided us with some new promises. A lot of similarities, but still have some its uniqueness. Though there are some concerns in regards to the consistency of the animation quality towards the end of the series, much like any other anime. Overall, if fantasy and adventure anime with fan service is something that you dig into a lot, then you're probably going to like this anime as well. That would be all for this video, ladies and gentlemen. For more anime reviews, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button below. Until then, stay safe and arigatou gozaimasu!